Good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. And this morning, I just want to raise the question. I can barely keep it to myself. How many of you remember when you were in grade school and there was the fight after school? Everybody knew it was going to happen. Everybody was talking about it at their lockers. And when everybody gathered, wherever they gathered after school, there was this ring of put your dukes up. You remember, put your dukes up. Now, I'm not suggesting that that's what it should be. I mean, we are far too far in uh, school violence now. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just doing a little bit of OG reflection and remembering when someone would say, put your dukes up. We ain't for bullying. We're not for that. Just for memory's sake. But that's what we're talking about because we're talking about spiritual warfare. And you better learn how to put your dukes up. Come on now. You better learn how to put your dukes up. You already know I got a text to talk to tape wait 5 minutes or less. You know what I'm going to share with you. Cannot wait. Why don't we just jump right into it so you can find out how to put your dukes, how to put your dukes up. Good morning and welcome to Morning Manna, where in 5 minutes or less, you're going to get an impartation with the text, the talk, and the takeaway. Join the Morning Manna fam every weekday morning at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Don't forget to put in the chat the revelation that you get and share the manna. Now, let's get ready to have some manna so you can make it through your day. Put your dukes up. Here we go. Here's the text. Mark 4:39. He, Jesus, got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, quiet, be still. Let's put yesterday's context to today and talk about how to put your dukes up. The disciples are caught in a storm. How many of you ever been caught in a storm? Physical as well as emotional, financial. Been caught in a storm. Maybe even just rain, but I want you to grab that. They were caught in a storm. The wind was blowing. The waves were beating. The water was coming in. And Jesus is asleep. Now, that's a contrast with yesterday. If you missed yesterday, you might want to pick it up. Yesterday, when we were in the Garden of Gethsemane and we're saying you got to pick your weapon, we call that Gethsemane thing. And the disciples fell asleep on Jesus. Can you not watch with me for 1 hour? We broke that word watch down, but they fell asleep. How about that? They fell asleep, but now this is Jesus sleeping and there's a storm. There's a spiritual warfare. The Lake of Gennesaret or the Sea of Galilee, whatever you want to call it, was known to have these storms that would come out of nowhere. And it was like a spiritual thing because they believed that the air that was coming over the mountainside that would drop down would create these squalls. They thought that, of course, is a spirit, spiritual warfare. So let's get back. Jesus is asleep. All right, he's asleep. You got it? What does this mean? Here's the tension. Jesus slept through the storm in Mark 4, but stayed awake for the battle in Gethsemane. Let's pull this together. What's the why behind this? Because spiritual maturity, watch this, and in spiritual warfare, is not just knowing how to fight, it's discerning what deserves a fight and when to fight. Jesus knew the difference between a storm he could sleep through. Come on now, that'll preach. And a battle he needed to prepare for. Let me say that again. Put that in the chat area. You need to share that right now. Jesus knew the difference between a storm he could sleep through and a battle he needed to prepare for. Three things I want you to get. First is this: don't panic at every punch, because every punch won't knock you out. It may hurt, but it won't knock you out. Everything that hits you doesn't deserve your anxiety. The disciples were panicking over something that Jesus was sleeping through. Stop giving every storm permission to steal your peace and your sleep. Go to bed tonight. Put your head on the pillow and call some hogs and start cutting some logs. 2. Discern your dukes. Discern your dukes. You know, some storm requires faith. Other battles require preparation. Still, others require things altogether different. You'll wear yourself out fighting stuff that God already gave you the authority to speak over. You know, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, bobbing and weaving. Come on now. Discern your dukes. Know when to bob and to weave. 3. Know when to swing. There's a time when you got to give that liver punch. You slip it, come around and hit that liver punch. You hit somebody in the liver hard enough, they'll crack up. And so will the enemy. Get your dukes up. Let's break in here. So here's Jesus. Jesus knows when to swing. He finally got up and he spoke. That's the swing here. Quiet, be still. What do you need to tell right now to be quiet and be still? Know when to swing and know what to swing. Sometimes putting your dukes up means fighting, but sometimes your greatest weapon is standing your ground with our God and give authority by your mouth. How to push back. That's the duke that you need to put up. What's your takeaway right now? This your takeaway? I want you to get this. Put your dukes up, but don't waste your punches. Put your dukes up, but don't waste the punches. Some stuff, sleep through. You gotta sleep through it. The Lord be with you today. May His face shine upon you, give you peace. If this bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna as we continue in this whole series of overcoming and spiritual warfare. Choose the right weapon. Share the manna.